All right, I got a story to tell. This is story time, all right? So when I was younger, I'd say when I was like 11 or 12, me and my family, we used to live in a pretty good neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? We were Army, so we used to live, on base. And I have a couple sisters. I actually have four sisters. Only one I used to live with, but the other two, the third one got born like not too long ago, but the other two um pretty much they would come down during the summer here and there. So they came down that summer, and my first cousin came down, and we would have such like a good time. Like those are some like the funnest years of my life. Uh but anyway, we do everything. We be at the Boys and Girls Club. We used to trade Pokemon cards, like walk around our neighborhood, and we had so many kids in the neighborhood. We playing football. We did everything. It was so like lit back in those days. You know what I'm saying? So in the midst of all this fun, we used to play spades like at night, and that was cool. That was like a game that I had just learned how to play. From them coming down, they taught us how to play. So we play on teams, and everything would be cool. So one day it was like probably like 10 o'clock, and we'd be up all night talking and laughing. And my dad would always complain about how late we stayed up. But so I went and got up and got a drink, and I come back to the room, and everybody's faces changed. Like everybody is completely blank. Like they look like they seen a ghost. So I'm like, what happened? Like, what's going on? Like, I could instantly feel the tension as soon as I came into the room. And they're like, somebody was looking through our window. So I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Because I look at the window and it's still open. And they're afraid to close the window. And I actually think I went over there and closed it. You know what I'm saying? But they were telling me how the person looked. And they're like, it's a dude was like really, really tall. Like he must have been like 6'6" or something. Like the dude we stayed in a one-story house, and he was taller than our window. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was a big, big dude. So it was just crazy. So everybody was afraid, and we woke up our parents and we told them, and so everything's like cool. I don't even know if they called the police that night. I think they did. I don't know. I can't remember, but nothing happened. So anyway, we go back to our regular lives. We're doing our thing. My parents probably should have kept us inside the house and just been like, you guys ain't going nowhere until we figure this thing out. Because that's serious. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what this person's capable of. But we just went back to our regular thing. We would walk to the Boys and Girls Club, which was like maybe a mile or two away. We were still outside and everything. So we were still vulnerable. But nothing ended up happening. So maybe like a week or two goes by, and me and my cousin, we were like heavy into girls, you know what I'm saying? We had girlfriends at that age, and so we were up talking about that. We were talking about our girlfriends and everything, right? And so randomly he just starts talking about the guy. And he was like, "Man, he's so like tall. Like it's like I wonder, like what the guy's doing right now." As soon as he says that, he, well, my cousin goes, he stands up and he starts leaning over the window because I have a bunk bed and he slept on the top, so he's leaned in like a yoga pose over the window. So I'm like, what are you doing that for? And then I look at the window and there's the guy staring through the window, but our lights off, right? So he can't really see. And I can see his eyes aren't necessarily narrowed in at me, even though I'm right in front of the window. So, but he's trying to see. He's got his face smushed up against the glass, and there he's as big and even bigger than what they even said he was. I'm like, my God. So I just started running. I ran to my parents' room, and my dad didn't even have a gun or anything. So I don't know what the hell's about to happen. But my dad gets up and he calls the police and everything. And then after a little while, goes outside because my dad's in the military. So he's like, that's just another soldier. It's probably like a young soldier. I could probably, do something. He'll respect my rank or something like that, which is completely foolish. But so the dude actually gets caught. The police find him up the road, and they take him to the brig, and they ask him why the hell he was doing that, and he was like, uh they just seemed so happy. I just liked watching them play. And you know what? Those two times wasn't even the first times that he came. He said he went there even more than that. I guess we just didn't see him. You know what I'm saying? So we were being watched. But so he got in trouble and we never really had any more problems with that guy, right? But my question is this. Like, do you actually believe that? Do you believe that he just wanted to see some kids play? I mean, because he was coming, the first time he came when it was like 10 o'clock. The second time it was for like 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, he knew that we weren't going to be up playing. He knew that the lights weren't going to be on. Um, he was coming there to basically stalk, and he was actually going to probably hurt somebody or kill somebody or do something to someone. You know what I'm saying? And I said all that to say this, right? He's no different from any of these other narcissists. The only thing that's different between him and these other psychopaths, these other people who have problems, right, is that he doesn't have the self-control that other people do. You know what I'm saying? Like these other toxic people, they can watch child porn, they can do other stuff and it'll get them over. They don't need to go out in the middle of the night hunting and stalking people. You know what I'm saying? He lost control a little bit, even though he was still trying to, not get caught because he was doing it at night, but he lost control. So when I get these questions about, how do you deal with people who are gaslighting you, like your family, your husband, and oh, my husband's a real narcissist, my husband's this, and or your wife is the worst, and all this. Like, do you realize that that person is the same, has the same type of spirit? You know what I'm saying? He has the same spirit as the people that you're living with right now. They just have more self-control. So if you really start to see a lot of these symptoms and they start gaslighting you, hiding stuff, and they're bothering you, you should get chills. Like, you shouldn't want to live with them. You shouldn't want to try to gain the upper hand so you can stay around them. Like, you're in danger. Like, you're living with somebody that's like living with that guy, except for if he had just a little bit more self-control. You wouldn't want me to be around him. Like, if I was a kid, you wouldn't want to be around him yourself. So why are you wanting to be around the people that are just like him, maybe even worse than he is? You know what I'm saying? Because at least once he got caught, he stopped. But some people, they don't really care about getting caught, So the point is that you need to get to safety, you know. If you're living with somebody, realize what you're really dealing with. You don't know how, when they might lose control. And just in general, even if they can control themselves, you still don't want to be around somebody who's evil like that, who will go out, who you can't even trust to have kids around. But that's my whole video. That's my whole point. Don't be out here trying to gain the upper hand so you can feel good about yourself. Like, really get to safety. And that's the whole point of the video, and that's all I got. Peace.